So we're moving on to our next Bible story. We are going to keep reading about Moses, and we're going to talk about how the Israelites got food and water in the desert. Because if you know anything about the desert, you know that it's a dry place. You know that there's not a lot of food, there's not a lot of water. So there came a time when the Israelites were thirsty and they were hungry and they were kind of running out of the food they brought. So this is the story of how God answered their prayers. So the Israelites set up a camp in the desert. As the days went by, the food they had brought with them ran out. Where would they find more food? The people were hungry. They began to complain to Moses and Aaron, their leaders. Moses asked God for help. So Moses prayed to God. He said, God, the people are hungry. What am I to do? That night, flocks of quail, which are birds, appeared all over the camp. The people caught the small birds and roasted them for dinner. The next morning, there was a layer of dew around the camp, kind of like wetness. When it was gone, thin flakes like frost were left behind on the sand. Do you see them? It's kind of like oatmeal. Moses told the people, "This is bread that God has given you to eat." They called the bread manna. Manna tasted like wafers, and it was white. It tasted like wafers made with honey, which are kind of like crackers. Every morning, manna rained down from the sky, so the people always had enough food to eat. After a while, the Israelites moved on to another place. Manna still rained down from the sky, but this time where they went, there was no water. The people were thirsty, and they complained to Moses, Moses, we're thirsty. What do we do? So Moses cried out to God, what am I to do with these people? Complaining. Now they're thirsty. God told Moses to go to a big rock at a place called Horeb. Moses took with him the staff that he had used to divide the waters of the Red Sea. He touched the rock, and when he did, a stream of water came out. The Israelites still had a long journey ahead of them. With manna, quail, and water, God showed them that he was with them. So today we're just going to kind of color our page that looks like this. And I don't think I sent any little paper home for you, but if you have like some toilet paper or a tissue, go get a piece of toilet paper or a tissue right now. And we're going to put some manna in our bowl. So, I'm going to start my coloring. But make sure you get a tissue or some toilet paper. And that's going to be the manna. That's going to be in our bowl. Wouldn't it be cool if every morning food rained down from heaven that God was giving to us? We don't have to search for food that way. We get to go to the store. We get to buy it. Some people grow it. But in the desert, it's hard to grow food like that in the desert. It's very hot. There's not a lot of water. So we're very lucky that we have stores to go to. Back when this story was happening, the Israelites in the desert, there weren't really stores. There wasn't really anything in there. They were just kind of moving along and living off the land and kind of just sleeping under the stars and camping a little bit. It was very hot in the desert. The sun very hot. Let's see here. This guy's got a bowl too, doesn't he? Give him some of this. If your paper ever wiggles while you're coloring, it's important that you hold your paper down with your other hand so it doesn't wiggle. That's what good colorers and good writers do. It's like an anchor. It anchors your paper down. Now there's so much desert and sand. Lots of sand in the desert. Not a lot of plants. It's very hot. Let's see here. Give this person like a little neck right here, connecting their shirt. We've got his arm holding his bowl, getting his manna, which is the bread from heaven, from God. Tasted like a wafer, which is like a cookie cracker, and then honey. Sounds like it would be sweet. All right, so after you finish coloring and you have your tissue or your toilet paper, that's so silly, we're gonna put glue all around right here on our bowl. And then I'm gonna rip off little pieces and I'm just gonna glue them in there. Kind of like we did with the pillar of fire with the tissue paper, but we're gonna use toilet paper or piece of tissue. So just rip off little pieces and kind of crunch it up and glue it on. And that is our manna, which is bread sent to the Israelites by God because they were hungry. God showed them that he could answer their prayers. I'm going to even put some in this guy's bowl down here. So I need to rip off little pieces for his bowl. His bowl is smaller than the other bowl. All right, there you have it. Manna from heaven.